Yeah, here we are talking about sales. This is sales for you, sales for your business, sales with clarity. And today we're talking about a 3-step process. Well, actually, we're using the word process, and that is the intent, process, and release. Those are the 3 things we're going to be talking about today. And to ensure that you are in flow, using intent, process, and release. And before we go, before we start this, we always have to make sure that we're raising our vibes, dancing, and getting clear.
We're bold, brave, seen, heard. We're paid well, bold, brave, seen, heard. We're power women. I'm a power woman. Bold and brave and well paid. Woman. I've seen and heard a great leader. Woman. We're experts and leaders expanding together as woman. Connecting and growing, we're powerful.
Power women. Be bold, be brave, be seen, be heard, and be paid well.
Good morning, Evie, and everybody else that is watching. This is about you being bold, being brave, and being paid well. That's 100% right. This is why you're here. This is why I do what I do. So let's talk a little bit about the concepts that I wanted to share with you today. One of the things that's really important when we're talking about sales and the prep of sales, so it's the preps, it's the action steps, and it's finally the reward. And in order to get there, you have to follow some really clear guidelines, because when you decide what you want, then the flow starts. When you decide where, who, and what you want to serve, then the flow goes. So let's start with intent. You've identified a particular company or organization or person that you would like to work with. And this is really important. When you know who your target is and when you know where and who you want to serve, that intent really starts solidifying for you. You start seeing those people around. Start seeing where they are. Then you started siphoning down and getting a little bit more focused when you start saying, I want to work with this particular group. I want to work with these kinds of people. I want to work with that person. So you go from there's everybody in the world. You start getting a little closer about your intention. You get a little bit closer about defining your market. You get a little bit closer than finding the person that you want to be with. And then you want to have the intent to serve that client so they can succeed. And that's the part of intent that I really want you to focus on today, is understanding that everybody can feel your vibe and everybody feels your intention. And if what you're doing is only serving yourself, I want to get the deal. I want to get the deal. Come on, I'm going to sell it. Come on. Hey, everybody, come on and play with me. Come on and do work with me. Do with me. Come on. I got this deal. I got this deal. The time is running out. If you start doing that, people really don't want to play with you. They're not as eager to be with you. However, if your intent is, I know that I believe in you and I know that I can help you do whatever it is that you want to do, make more money, lose weight, whatever it is that is your mission to serve people, when you're clear about that mission and you actually know this is why you do what you do, and that what you're going to do is love on them and make sure that they know how much you believe in them and how much you believe in what you do to get them where they want to go. And a lot of times when people are pitching and selling, they lose that message. They get so confused and just focus on, I want to make money, 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 that that is not servicing your client or potential client, because your client, your potential client, wants to know that you have an intention to make them succeed. You have an intention for them to grow. You have an intention for them to have a positive outcome. And when you get very clear about that intention for that particular person, then you can really solidify a relationship with them that makes them be more interested in what you have to serve and what you have to say and how you want to play with them. Intention is very critical. So when people talk about making their statement, what do they do and how do they do what they do? Please spend time going within and being clear about why you do what you do, so that when you're speaking with people, when you're writing your mission statements, when you're communicating what you do, people really know that you believe what you say, that you really do have an intention for their success. The more you can intend for their success, the more attractive, magnetic, powerful you are, and the more business you get. That's just how it works. So the first is the intention. The second thing is process. So process means having lined up for yourself, how is that person moving through your system? How are you moving through your own system? So that, is the first thing to get an appointment? Is this, what's the thing to get them to talk to you, then to get the appointment, then to get the invitation to share what you do, then it's about how you follow up with them, and then it's finally how you talk to them so that they once again feel that your intent for their success is more important than anything that you can give them at this moment. And then once they know that, then they make a decision, right? And to play with you. But it is so critical that you have step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and really clear about the process to that specific client that you want to work with. So the more intentional you are about who you serve, the more intentional you are about what you do and how you serve, the more intentional you are, then it's easier to then start a process of how do I attract that particular person? How do I go to that particular person? How do I speak to that person? It is really important that we go in. Evie's writing, great reminder, we have an intention for my clients to have results, growth. It is really important that we remember why we do what we do and how we do what we do. Great job. Great job. And this is one of the other pieces that I want to talk about is once you know the process. So I'm going to call, I'm going to do, I'm going to serve. You have to be also then willing to do the third thing, which is release. Now, what does this mean? Too often, people will send out or have the close and say, okay, here we're going. And they might say, they might not be ready to make a decision. Or if you're working for a large corporation, an elephant, it takes a little bit longer for them to make a decision. And what ends up happening is sometimes you, as with all of us, right, can get caught up into, oh my gosh, when are they going to answer? Where are they going to go? Where are they going? The whole team could be, well, when do you hear from them? When are they make the decision? When are they going to make the decision? I got to know now. I got to know now. When you start doing that, you will stop the process because you'll call too early. You'll send out an email that sounds a little bit desperate. You'll answer the phone when they call with a sense of desperation instead of anticipation. You have to be very, very careful that you know that you've done the process, you've done the intent, you've done the process, and then you let it go. Let it go, let it go. Let them make a decision. And sometimes a decision is going to be no, not now. That doesn't mean never. And even if they say no, it doesn't mean never. But you cannot be attached to the outcome. If you're not getting a yes, then you have to do something and you have to go back. because yes didn't come because you might not have real clarity about the intention. Too often, and let me just say with this, I love what you're writing, EB. Process. How am I and the client moving through the system? The process. Absolutely. So let's just clarify. If you didn't get a yes, the first thing I would want you to do is assess your intent. Too often I hear people say, I want to close a deal. I want to close a big deal. And so when they first speak to the person, they have in mind, I'm here with you. When are we going to close the deal? They don't even know you. They don't even trust you. They don't even like you, yet they don't know you. So you've already jumped from just getting that first call to already closing a deal. And that is a dangerous place for you to be. You have to be intentional, saying, I'm excited about this client. I got them on the phone. I want to have an appointment with them so I can get to know them, so I could serve them better. So we're telling you to slow down a little, just take it a little bit slower, slow it down. Your intention, be there that you want to serve them and have results for sure, but you want to have an intentional moment where you get to spend time with them. This is critical. So in your process, you also evaluate, where did I jump the gun? Why didn't I get a no? Sometimes the process is when you look and read at your plan and your scripts of interaction, which you all should have, you might find that you're jumping the gun, or maybe you're using a word that is a turnoff word. Maybe instead of being all positive, you went really negative, and that is a turnoff to that person. That's not helping them see the vision you have for them. You're not helping grow. So you have to look at your process, because sometimes the words that you use, sometimes when you make the phone calls isn't working. Sometimes when you've set up the appointments, and sometimes it is even how your mojo is in that moment of process wasn't in line with what you wrote and what you said, but maybe you just had a bad day. And so how you're communicating isn't coming off the way you really, really intended. So you have to look at your process. It's really important. The other piece about that you want to be looking at is then the release. Now, the release doesn't mean you're letting go of your desire to do business with them. Your release is letting go of your fears that you're not going to do business with them. Your fear of you're not going to get the sale. Your fear that they aren't going to pay your fee. The fear of what if they go with somebody else. All of those fears make you attached to the outcome when you're working with that particular client. And it's really important that you spend time internally so you can release and let that go and know if it's your perfect client and if you've done all the things right, they will come to you and do business with you. I know that for 100% sure. I know that because I've lived it, I've seen it, and I've received it. I know when you are coming from a place, a higher place of, I did what I can. I followed through. I assessed my intent. I assessed my process. I'm ready to go from here and move forward. Now, what people forget in sales and in everything is that you play a real big role in this. Your personality, your presence, I was talking this with a whole bunch of people at my last gathering, how you have your competence, your prominence, your presence, and your dominance of your mind make a huge difference in the outcomes that you will receive. So, my name is Pegine. I lead Team Pegine and I lead Power Women Worldwide. Please remember, look at your intent, look at your process, look at the release, and make sure that you do what you need to do to be your most magnificent self, your most powerful self. You are here to do great work. You are here to serve the world. You are here to offer solutions. So go offer solutions, and have a fabulous, awesome day.